days ago. It was a little while ago. I've been wanting to make this video like right after I had the dream, but I was busy. So I had this dream several nights ago. Okay, so the dream opens and it's me and my two best friends, and it's like we get arrested and we are like accused of committing some crime that like we literally didn't do. Like, it was just random. We were just randomly arrested and accused of committing this crime. I don't even remember what the crime was, but we didn't do it, and they were like questioning us, and we were just like, no, we literally, like, we had a solid alibi. We were like, we were here, and we can prove it, and so we didn't do the crime. But like, the police were like not believing us. It was so crazy. And then they were like, okay, well, it's your time to go to trial. But this was not like regular American law. Like, it wasn't like regular. Okay, so the trial was like, we were in this big, it was like kind of like almost like a playground, but it was just like concrete space, like a flat top, and there are like all of these like village people, and the judge goes like, if you can convince at least one of these people that what you're saying is true and y'all didn't commit the crime, then like you will be found not guilty. Like, you can go, then we'll believe you that you didn't do it. So we are literally telling all of the people like, no, so we were here, we got proof, we could get timestamps, like, we are really going in, like, trying to convince these people that we did not commit the crime. But the people did not believe us. Like, out of the entire, and it's like it was like a big group of people, and out of the entire like big group of people, nobody would believe us. It was like crazy. So apparently, whatever crime we did, the punishment was like execution, and it was like right then and there, like executed on the spot. So when we were like trying to convince somebody, and in the dream it felt like this was happening for like 25-30 minutes, where we're just trying to convince somebody that we didn't do the crime. After so far it's going by, nobody's saying they believe us. Everybody just looking at us like we're lying. Like, they really are saying that we committed this mysterious crime. Like, so the judge comes in, he's just like, okay, nope, you couldn't convince anybody. It was so fast. He was like, okay, nope, you guys aren't convincing anybody. Execute them. Like, this was just, he was just like, execute them out of nowhere. Everybody has like bows and arrows and guns. So like, we just start running. And the way that it was set up in my dream, that's why I say it was kind of like a playground, because it was like gated in, but it was like a flat top. It was gated in, and there was like, you know how those gates have the sliding doors for cars to come through. There was like one sliding door, and it was like all the way at the other end, and we were like at the back end. So we just take off running, shooting bows and shooting guns at us. Not shooting bows, shooting arrows. Shooting arrows and like shooting their guns at us. It looked like my uncle, and I was like, oh my god, something has possessed my uncle. Something has taken over his body, because this would never happen. This is not real, you know. So at that point in my mind, my uncle is possessed. I know this dream probably sounds absolutely crazy, but just follow me because it gets crazier. So as like when I turn around and look, and I notice like one of them looks like my uncle, and then I just conclude that my uncle is possessed by a demon that's trying to kill me. I like look into the sky, and oh my, this is like so cinematic, but it's like I look up into the sky and it's like slow motion, and I can see all of the bows, and like I keep saying bows, arrows. I can see all of the arrows and like the bullets coming at me like how they do in slow-mo in the movies. It was like it was so cinematic that it was actually weird. But so it's like slow motion now, and I'm like, oh. So now I'm like running, and when I'm running, it feels like slow motion. But then it's like all of a sudden it like snaps back to like reality, full pace, and like we run, we get through the gate, and we like slam the gate behind us, like I guess to try to slow them down. So like we run around the corner, and we like find some car that has a key in it. Like, okay, so we steal this car, and I'm driving the car now with me and my two best friends. So I'm driving the car, and I like get on the highway, and I'm like, where do y'all want me to drop y'all off at? Because we have to, I'm like, we can't just all be together, so where do y'all want to get dropped off at? And I'm going where I know I'm gonna be safe at, because like we just ran away from our sentencing at like court, so I don't know, like we need to run. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, well, where do y'all want me to drop y'all off at? So I take them, and this is like what adds to this is like it was set in where I actually live, and they were telling me like where to drop them off at, which was like a suburb of the city that I live in. So I'm on the highway going there, and I like drop them off at this house, and they're like, okay, we'll be fine, we'll be safe here. So I'm like, okay, cool, well, y'all be safe here, y'all good. I'm about to go to, you know, where I know I'm gonna be good at. And they're like, them, and then all of these other people start popping up and being like, I feel like I remember it being like two older people. Like it was those two, my friends that I dropped off, and then there were like two older people there. Maybe they were somebody's grandparents or something, I don't know. But they were like, no, it's late, it's literally midnight, like you shouldn't go, you shouldn't drive by yourself. And I'm just like, girl, like, no, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna drive by myself and I will be fine. And I was like, I'm gonna talk to my grandma on my drive. This is so funny because this is like literally something I would do. Like, I'm gonna talk to my grandma on my drive, and she's gonna give me company. And they were like, your grandma is asleep, right? I'm like, y'all don't know my grandma, y'all don't know her sleep schedule, like, to tell me that my grandma not gonna be able to talk to me while I drive and get where I need to go. Like, I was really getting impressed by that, because it was like, your grandma is asleep, like, you can't just be disturbing. And I'm like, y'all don't, like, first of all, y'all do not know my grandma, so don't tell me nothing about what my grandma gonna be doing. Which is funny because, like, in real she's gonna be there at 3 a.m. for me to talk to her. So I was just like, how? You don't know my grandma. And don't try to say my grandma not gonna be available to talk to me on my drive. That part was really irking me for whatever reason. But I'm like, whatever, y'all don't know my grandma. Bye. Like, I'm actually leaving. So I left, and it was like, I remember being like, is it even that late when I left out? Because that was one of their reasons. Like, no, you should just stay. You just need to stay here. It's safe here, and it's really late. So I remember looking like at the time in the car, and I'm like, oh dang, it is actually late. At that point, the clock said it was like 1 something in the morning. So I'm like, I leave, and I just remember driving on the highway again, and I don't know, this drive on the highway just felt like I was floating. It felt very euphoric. Like, I don't know, it was very weird. Like, the first time I was driving in my dream, I felt like I was really driving, but this time I felt like I was just kind of like floating, like I wasn't paying attention to driving, like I was still driving correctly, but it didn't feel like I was driving. If that makes sense, I probably sound crazy, but follow me. So I pull off of the highway by my grandma's house, because that's where I was going. Like, that's where I'm gonna be safe at. So I like pull up, and I call my grandma like, oh, can you open the door? And she was like, yeah, baby. She was like, it's late. Like, what? And I was like, grandma, I just had the craziest day. Like, I literally just had the craziest day. I'm gonna tell you about it in the morning, but I'm going to go to sleep. Like, I just need to go to sleep right now. And I just remember going to sleep like on the couch. In my dream, I went to sleep on the couch, and then I woke back up. Okay, y'all, so when I went to sleep in my dream and woke up, I was still at my grandma's house. Okay, like my grandma, my mom, my grandma live in a duplex, so my grandma lives downstairs, my mom's upstairs. So when I like woke up, I was still there, like I was at my grandma's house. So I remember wondering if I had woken up, like if I was really awake, or if I was still in the dream. At that point, it was unclear to me if I was actually awake or if I was still dreaming. So I go upstairs to my mom's house, and I'm like, Mom, am I awake right now? Like, is this reality? And she was like, yes, Nisha, like, where else would you be? Like, where? And I'm just like, I don't know, Mom. Like, it just feels weird. Like, I don't know, it just feels weird. And I kept telling her that, and she was like, this is reality, Nisha. And I was like, I had a crazy day yesterday, or at that point I was like, I think I didn't have a crazy day. I think I just had a crazy dream. So I'm telling my mom like about all of the stuff that happened, being falsely accused of the crime and like the shooting, and looking back and saying that one of them looked like my uncle, and I was like, and we gotta figure out what's going on with my uncle. And she was just like, girl, what? Like, what is going on with him? And I was like, okay, I think it was a dream then. I think I just had like a crazy dream. And she was like, yeah, you just had a crazy dream. But I'm like, are you sure, Mom? Like, are you sure that this is reality? Oh, okay, so where was I at in the story? Oh, okay. So I was like constantly asking my mom, are you sure that like this is reality? And she was just it was like she got annoyed like how she would in real life, and she started going off on me like, why would this be not reality? Da, da, da. This is real life. Like, Misha, this is real life. This is real life. Like, I don't know, you acting weird. I don't know what's going on with you, but like, this is real life. But everything, and that's the thing, like, the dream was like almost so real. Like, everything looked just like how it looked. Like, everything was in place. My mom like everything was like perfect in a sense. Like, everything seemed so real. Like, nothing stood out that this would be a dream. But the only thing that was making me feel like it was a dream is just I had a weird feeling. Like, it was almost as if everything was like too right. Like, everything was too correct. Everything was too accurate. So I'm like, is this a dream or is this real life? So, a tip that my boyfriend gave me for when I'm in a dream and it's starting to feel too real, or I need to wake up, is to like find the glitch, find the thing that makes the dream not real life. And like, sometimes this is like the great, like, I'll have a pet dog, and I've never had a pet dog before. I like cats, so like that'll be the glitch in the dream. Like, I don't get no dog, so then that'll like cue me to wake up. Or it'll be like, I don't know, like, it's just different, you know, something's off, something is not like how it is in reality. Be like, my door is painted red when I know I have a wooden door, like, you know. So I'm like, okay, like, this is a dream. I was walking around looking for the glitch for what felt like 45 minutes. Like, literally, I'm walking all over my mom's house. I was started at the downstairs. I'm looking for literally anything to be off. I'm looking for anything to be wrong, anything to be out of place, like anything. I'm looking for, like, I was like, anything to be slightly off, for there to be someone there that isn't usually there, or for, I don't know, a room to look differently than it usually looks. Like, I'm literally walking through the house, up and down, looking for something to be off, and nothing is off. Like, everything is like how it feels in reality. But I still have this weird feeling. So after that, I remember just sitting down on my grandma's couch and being like, dang, okay, I guess maybe this is just reality and I just had a crazy dream. And I remember being like, yeah. And after I like am about to accept that this was my reality, I woke up in real life. I was like, you know, I'm at my own house, I'm not at my mom's house. And I was like, this was the craziest thing ever. Like, that dream felt so creepy. And the way that, like, two things made me uncomfortable in that dream. Like, the beginning of the dream, that's like typical dream stuff that I have, and it was like almost too cinematic. Like, the beginning of the dream with like the wrongful conviction and like this jury of villagers, I felt like I knew at that point that it was a dream, because it was like too, especially the slow-mo part, like it was way too cinematic. But when I went to sleep and woke back up, that is where I was confused. I'm like, am I waking up into reality, or am I still waking up in the dream? That's what was creepy. The two creepiest things is when I dropped my friends off and they were trying so hard to convince me to stay. I don't know why, but it made me feel very uncomfortable. And then the second creepiest thing, my mom in my dream being so adamant on convincing was in reality, when I was in the dream, that was freaky. Like, I don't know. So, I've been having a lot of crazy dreams lately. I've been like writing them down. Maybe I'll share some more dreams with y'all. Tell me what y'all think about my dream. Like, have y'all ever went to sleep and woken up still in the dream and thought that you like woke up in reality? I don't know. Let me know, y'all. So that's my crazy dream. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more videos from your girl. My next video will be a conspiracy, so keep an eye out